Hello. Hi, everybody. Hey, welcome back to the Zazoo Plazz Sunday Report. I am your host, Leslie Plazic, also known as Zazoo Plazz. How is everyone doing? This is August 8th, 2021. Lionsgate. It's supposed to be, it's like the brightest star, Sirius or something. It's funny, it's called Sirius, and I'm not at all serious. Seriously. It's supposed to be a day of 8/8 is the infinity symbol, so it's like a date of plus it's a new moon tonight. It's a Leo new moon, so I'm gonna leave here and I'm gonna go make up my little wish list for the month, which is always boded very well for me. It's a very good practice, and it's a very natural thing. Those of you keep up with the moon, and it's a good time. And what I'm wishing for, well, I can't tell you what I'm wishing for, but I guess it's a good time. For me personally, Leo is in my 11th house of friends and friendships. That's what's been on my mind a lot lately. Is thinking, how can I keep my camera from falling over? That's what's been on my mind. And I'm here. I'm at a new tree in the woods here today, and so there we go. It's a little tipsy, but we'll see how that works. Oh boy. So yeah, it's been a wild time, hasn't it? Here in the jungle, down here in the jungle. Remember that song? Welcome to the jungle. Guns N' Roses. There was some other song too about the jungle, but that's the one I remember the most from my generation. Welcome to the jungle. Na 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 na. Remember that one? Nah, we're gonna make you scream. I don't know if that's how it goes. I'll post it this week. Oh my goodness, bugs are eating me up today. I got a new shirt. It's a Life is Good shirt. Remember those Life is Good from the 90s? All the kids, our kids' generation, now they're back into all the stuff we used to wear in the 90s, the big shirts and all that vintage stuff. It's hot again. Like my son's, and his friends, they go to the thrift shop and they look for stuff. I wish I hadn't gotten rid of all of it from the 90s. I'm like, I'm not gonna wear this. It's huge. All my denim shirts and my vintage t-shirts. I got rid of them. I should keep those things. But no, not now. In our house, it's so nice to get out. We're getting back 2 weeks. The guys leave for school. One's going back the 18th, the freshman, and the 20th, the senior goes. He's all set. I made a list because the first time around I didn't have to make a list because my guy who's a senior, he's a Virgo, so he has spreadsheets in his head. He makes lists in his sleep. If I had provided him with a list, he would have taken it as the highest insult. But this guy, my husband's the detail guy, So unfortunately, I spent way too much time yesterday, because Saturday's the day I kind of get myself in order. It's ruled by Saturn, so I do my grocery planning, I put in an order, I do my meals, and so I thought, it might be nice. I'll make him a list. I went into Word, I made a comprehensive list of, everything he needed to get for school. Because I'd rather, see, this is the way I do things. I'd rather go order stuff online or go to the store when I have a precise idea of what I need to buy there, thereby not wasting my time. My husband forgets the list at home, and then he goes to the store, goes to the store, and then he's like, what do I get? And then he gets the wrong thing, and he comes home, and it doesn't have a pillowcase. He gets the sheets, but they don't have the pillowcase. See, if I'm not there with him, so I said, well, I'll make a list. So he looks at the list, and he's doing a dramatic reading of the list, and he's like, cell phone, why do you even need to put that on the list? I'm like, I downloaded it from somewhere on the web, and they had cell phone. He was a few years old, you know, and I didn't check every single item, you know. I was more into like, how did the list line up? How does it look? Can you read it? He's like, oh, what's this? And then you can't have this kind of extension cord. You can't have extension cords in the dorm. You can't have this. You can't have that. You can't have this kind of light. You can't have... Ah! Okay. So that's how I spent my day yesterday. That's my little warm up for today. I had to get that off my chest. Today I was getting ready to come out here, and I've been watching the Olympics in Tokyo. They're awesome. Oh my gosh, one sport after the other. These kids are amazing. People are amazing. And I said, oh, this is perfect for today. Look what I found in my grab bag. See? It's a little girl with a kimono. See? It's made out of paper. And this was given to me, actually she made this for me, my sophomore roommate in college, at Boston College. We were off campus in this basement apartment on Commonwealth Avenue in Boston. And we looked into it. We actually, okay, so I have to clarify a few things. She is Japanese American. Her parents were from Japan, but she was born in New Jersey. I think her brother was born in Japan. So she's American, but her parents are Japanese. And her father was president of, or vice president of, I think it was the Noritake China Company. The Noritake China is very famous. So you know, he would go back and forth from the U.S. to Japan, and she was well schooled in the art of paper folding, origami, and all that stuff, and Hello Kitty, and all those things that are, you know, and she's got cats. She ended up marrying this Irish guy and moving out past San Francisco. Her cat is the one who's posing with my book on the Zazoo Plazz website, zazooplazz.com. We've stayed friends all these years. She's not into like Facebook. She runs her own accounting firm, and you know, they work from home, and they have a cat. But she would sit at the desk, and she would write, you know, she would write in Japanese symbols, going from right to left, from vertically, columns, right to left, and she would make little paper crafts, you know, like little swans and little ladies. And this is a bookmark she made me. I think she made me this. Pretty sure it's from her. So that's something that I all of a sudden I thought about how we became friends, because I'm thinking about my friends lately. And we were in the dorm freshman year on the same floor, and we had roommates who were very social, and they had boyfriends. Well, her roommate had a boyfriend who used to come in and kick it. The roommate would kick her out, my friend MK. And she'd come over to my room, and then my roommate would have, you know, in our room, we would have all the, you know, the strays, the girls whose roommates had kicked them out, they'd all come to our room. Or MK and I, we'd be out in the hallway, because my roommate's friends would come in and they wouldn't smoke in our room, they'd smoke across the hallway, which is how much things have changed. She had friends who were, I mean, we weren't, my roommate and I, we were total opposites. But she was a nice person. And so some mornings I wake up, Saturday morning, we'd have a few girls sleeping on, sleeping on the floor. So anyway, we became friends. We were both in school management. She's an accounting major, I was finance. And we found each other through, hanging out in the hallway. She was down the hall and I said, oh, so we were kind of outcasts, both of us very quiet. She was way more quiet than I was. I wasn't that quiet. But I did feel my first year in the dorm that I was not comfortable. I wasn't in my element, the first year. And then, so what ended up happening was there was a girl in my Spanish class, and they were older than us, seniors, and they were graduating or whatever, and they had this apartment. They needed to sublet to somebody. And then let's take it. So we moved right in, end of freshman year, we grabbed it. And we had the best time sophomore year, because we had a lot in common. We had business studies together. We had, we used to make our meals, and she used to say, oh, you need a rice cooker, because my rice wasn't up to par. My minute rice was very good. But, I didn't grow up in an authentic Japanese household. So she taught me about how to make rice and stuff. So that was good. And I used to make meatloaf and stuff for her. My American things. And she taught me a lot about, the world at large. What a great place it is. What a big, multicultural place it is. And I went on, when I got my MBA, I actually majored in international business. Because I had, there's the ice cream truck again. Because I had made some friends in college who were from different countries, from different cultures. And so how do we meet friends? Well, sometimes we meet them, through school. I had found these pictures. These girls, this was 1979, Valentine's Day. I was in a group. See, where am I? Oh, I'm over here. I'm over there in the back. This was the Christopherettes. When I was in middle school, you'd see there's sister. We had, and here's another picture. Here's another picture of some of us. There I am in the pink. And that was Sister Roseanne, I think her name was. She used to play the guitar. She was one of my favorite nuns. So a bunch of us in these pictures, we were all in cheerleading together. This girl and that girl in the back, we were in the cheerleading squad. So we were, we had this little party in the church wing. There's the church, and then there was the little wing where, people would sit or they'd have functions. There was a kitchen there. And so the Christopherettes was a group of us, Catholic, most of us Catholic girls, preteens. I was 13. I was 13 there, I think. We'd meet on the weekends, and we'd have little parties. It was a social club, and it was just for girls. And we'd do fun things. We'd play games. We'd bring food. We'd go on little trips, mostly to the where the nuns lived. It was in Massachusetts, Brockton, I think it was. I forget what they called it, but I'm going to have a story in a future book about a time when I was about 12, where we went there and we stayed for the weekend. That was around the time I was considering, well, maybe I want to be a nun, and then that just knocked it right out of my head. And this woman here, who was the sister, she dropped out of the sisterhood, And, she got married or something like that. I don't know. I remember my mother telling me that she didn't find it fulfilling, and she left. And they no longer have not. In fact, they closed the school where I went, and so, and so many people that I know are no longer, people not affiliated with any particular religion, and you're not in school. Those were some places that we used to meet people. My parents' generation, they still go to mass and whatever, and they go for coffee and they, meet their friends. But if you don't do that, my generation, okay, and then there's my slightly younger than my parents. My uncle, he's a baby boomer. He's born in the 40s. So he just posted. He wears Hawaiian shirts all the time, and he lives in the Carolinas. So he's with this group of people, and they've got, like a parrot on the wall. Must have been Jimmy Buffett night or something. All the parrot heads, and they got their crazy, wild, Hawaiian shirts, and there's some kind of dancing that they do. So they meet and they go dancing, and there he is with his tribe. He's a Leo, and Pluto and Leo, their generation, they identified, through their music, through their culture, all their, let it all hang out kind of culture. My generation, we're a little more private. We're like, really? Just get away from me. No, I think the way that we connect is more online now, because, I often wonder, where are all the people my age? Well, they're doing what I'm doing. They're with raising their families, or, they're all wondering, where are all the people? Occasionally you see each other, walking the dog or driving a car. We used to see each other at our kids' events, but now when your kids get older, it's like, where do you meet people, I had that great group at the YMCA I used to meet with. So, but that was, and then I stopped going there, and you're living true to yourself. See, the thing with me is, rather than join an established group, I look at all the groups and I say, yeah, but it's not quite me. But not quite me. So I said, you know what? I'm going to make my own group. I was going through a box of stuff from my childhood, and there was I had this little chalkboard. It was about that big. And my parents had this antique student desk when I was little. I used to sit at it, and I had this old-fashioned chalkboard I used to write on. And I had written, the Crusader Club. and then something about President Leslie Bilodeau. So that was the precursor of the Zazoo Plazz Club. Apparently the Crusaders were a group I invented for going out in the world and righting injustices. Wherever I would go and I would see something that ticked me off, and I'd say, that's wrong. Even before my coworker told me to settle down, Sally, I was that person. I'd go somewhere, I'd go work somewhere, and I'd start my own movement. I've never really been a joiner. I'm a total rebel at heart. So don't go trying to tell me what to do, anybody, because I'm not going to do it. My aunt, Georgia, at my mother's memorial luncheon recently, she looked at me. She's in her late 80s. She looked at me, she says, well, I haven't seen you in a long time. When she looks at me, it's like, I've never seen your hair so short. She said, just don't go shaving your head now. And I just smiled at her. And what I was thinking, and what I thought, what I should have said was, Aunt Georgia, you know what? You're the first person I'll tell when I shave my head. Is what I should have said, but I didn't. I just went, smile, yeah, okay, all right, and thought, oh, maybe my hair is getting a little short. Then I got home and I said, the heck with that. I'm thinking of going a little shorter. I get in the back here, it's starting to bother me. So at the point when I can start saying the thing that I'm thinking, that'll be the day I'm truly free. So what I want to say today, okay, is the readings. Okay, so, oh God, I'm running out of time. Be kind to one another. Be imitators of God. Remove all anger, shouting, and fury. Basically, that's it. It's like you're going to get an instant slap on the wrist if you don't shape up. That's what the universe is saying to me lately, and maybe you too. It's like instant payback. There are these sneaky things that I like to do sometimes, and I think, okay, like seemingly innocent little things that have been getting me instant payback, like wow, I'll give them the crappy fork that has the long tines. I can't. It's not really a bad thing. It's just, I got to do everything. I got to sit at the table. I'm going to give you the crappy fork that nobody likes to eat with. That kind of stuff. And then, bam! I'll get a mosquito bite, or I'll get something in proportion to giving you the crappy towel with a crappy fork. Ah! All right. You see what I mean? You got to be careful. So, and the other thing I want to talk about today, yeah, so, okay, I did it. I checked all the other boxes. What I want to talk about, it's Dustin Hoffman's birthday, and I thought, oh, this is perfect. Dustin Hoffman, the movie Rainman is, okay, that's the movie trivia for the week. Dustin Hoffman and Tom Cruise in Rainman, one of my favorite movies. It's in my book about when he drops the toothpicks, and he knows exactly how many toothpicks are there. And so this is a great illustration of what they're talking about in the Bible here. Be kind and forgiving, okay? Because if you've seen the movie, these two brothers, they've been separate for many years, and their father died, and what they've come together is to learn how to forgive each other, their dad, and this and that. And Tom Cruise he's an angry person. He's angry. He's got this car business. He wants to sell cars. He wants to go fast, and he's got this brother that he's got to babysit. And the brother is holding on to his routines, because he has these challenges, and he's got to watch Judge Wapner, the People's Court, at 4:00 every afternoon or whatever it was, and he's got to get his T-shirts from Kmart, which is no longer really, kind of doesn't exist anymore. And so it's like a big trivia. It's like a big nostalgia trip, just to watch Rainman. The classic cars, everything in there. But, you can easily say, well, Charlie is the normal one, right? But, because that's the way we're used to looking at the world. But it may be that Raymond is wiser in some ways than Charlie. Though he appears he's very stuck in the world, in the material, in his own little head. But he's living in a way that, he's using his gifts. But he doesn't, he's just not aware of, but how often do we sort of, if society considers us normal, how often do we look through different lenses at someone like Rainman and go, you know, this is Charlie's big, you know, this is a life-changing moment. He can, you know, connect with his brother and go on this trip, and he's not the same person when he finishes. And you know, even though they may appear so different, you know, they do have a lot in common. They're brothers. And, you know, I watched that movie. You can watch it in different ways, but like, there are funny moments. There are sad, serious moments. It's, you know, it's like the journey of life. So, anyway, so I guess today's an opportunity to, you know, do your own personal little rain dance and pray for rain. I got a little shower on the way over here, which makes me think that's a good theme for today, you know, praying for rain, for abundance to rain down, and for, you know, just like the bread, the manna in the desert was raining down, but the people who ate that, they're hungry again. So what that means is we're moving into a time when it's not going to be enough, you know, just to eat the manna on the ground, just to, you know, chase after the things that give us momentary satisfaction, but rather to go and chase after, or be open to, even better, not chase, just be where you are and be open to the rain coming down on you and blessing you. So that's my report for today. May blessings rain down upon you. You'll be open to accepting all the great new opportunities that present themselves whenever you're watching this. And yeah, watch those toothpicks though. Restrain them. So until next week, I hope you have a glorious, brilliant day today. It's my in-laws' anniversary. They would have been married 57 years. 57 years today. My father-in-law in heaven. What a day. Yeah, they got married on Lionsgate. Although it was just the day he could get off from his job, but it worked out all right. So, until next week, take it easy, thrive, enjoy, take care. Zazoo Plazz, signing out.